Good, that's one we probably haven't sung in church, but a lovely song written by Isaac Watts, who is probably the most striking person to write hymns in English since the Reformation. Thanks for that. Your first name again? Annalise. Annalise's mum, Renee, was about her age when I first came to Townsville. Oh, Sandra. I thought you were Renee's daughter. Okay. Renee, who was Fullwood and now Liz, has been playing all week too, and she was part of a little teenage orchestra we had here back in the 90s when I first came to Townsville. Okay, so we've had to start with a lovely tune that maybe we didn't sing or know how to sing. Let's start in on some favourites, and we're going to start singing. Okay, it's a bit hard to see and a bit hard to hear, but if you've got the courage, sing out a number and we'll go to work. I'm not hearing anything. Bones, are you hearing anything? We might have to play our own favourites. Okay, tell you what, let's have a go at... I'm thinking, "'Tis so sweet to trust in Jesus." That'd be a nice warmer-upper for us here on Sabbath morning at camp. Number 524, "'Tis so sweet to trust in Jesus." Sad story about that song. It was written by a lady who made a commitment to follow Jesus, but went through real hardship. Her husband was a preacher. He died in a swimming accident. She was left all alone, but still could write those lovely words, "'Tis so sweet to trust in Jesus." And I'm sure we all agree. It is indeed. Okay, any favourites? Anything got stirring in your mind that you'd like to hear? 532, that was great, easy to hear. Let's see what we can do. Day by day. Yes, I think we even did this last week, but it's worth doing again. Day by day, and with each passing moment. Lovely tune, beautiful words. Thanks for that. Another, let's go. Yes, up the 513, that's 513? Oh, 530, yeah. Okay, this is an all-time favourite. Everywhere I go running worship conferences, and some people are a bit worried that hymns might be dying out in the Adventist church. There's lots of lovely new songs being written. But even the churches with the most new songs that I've ever heard in one worship service never let this one go. It's just one of those hymns that's pretty much going to be here till Jesus comes, I'm pretty sure. It is well with my soul. Let's go. Lovely, just love that song. Look, a truck went by. Oh, 50, okay. Thank you for your patience too. There's lots of other noise happening around, but we're on to it. Number 50, Abide With Me. My last memory of hearing this, some of you might have been there on television as well. There's a young man in the Australian Armed Forces whose dad is a pastor here in Townsville, Pastor Rungasol, and his son is a musician in the Armed Forces. He's a wonderful singer, player, and he went to France where they have the Anzac Day service, and on Anzac Day morning, pitch dark, early in the morning, he led the congregation singing this song, Abide With Me. I was so proud of him, a young man all the way from Townsville who was holding the flag literally for his nation there in France with Abide With Me. I think we're going to probably sing it in a bit of an easier, lower key, and that'll make it easier for everyone to sing. Let's have a look at the last stanza, I fear no foe, with thee at hand to bless. Quite words for a bunch of military people to sing. France was a pretty fearful place. But the fantastic thing about the Anzac story is that the chaplains who were with the troops in France, with the troops in Gallipoli, exuded a comfort and a power and a strength that was way beyond their numbers. An Adventist historian has written a fantastic book about the work of chaplains in the Australian Army in the First World War. And those chaplains would have all led the soldiers in singing this hymn, I fear no foe. That's verse 4. Have we got it up there? We're going to, here it is, I fear no foe. Lovely hymn. Thanks for that and the chance to tell a little story. Okay, we've got the choirs gathering, which is great. Any favourites over on this side? Over here, you've got to talk the loudest from over there, but there's got to be a favourite. Anyone on this side? No, they're just as happy to let the people in the middle have another choice. Here's someone. Okay, someone help me with that. 100, okay. This always comes up in a sing-along. I used to do a Sabbath afternoon sing-along on Facebook Live during COVID and finished up with hundreds of people online on a Sabbath afternoon. You could count on this hymn coming up every time. Great is thy faithfulness. If we've got time, I'll tell you a quick story, but let's do the first verse, and we'll do it in C. Number 100, here we go. Quick story. 1990, the Iron Curtain had just come down. The Soviet Empire had kind of come undone. In Ukraine, they were experiencing freedom the first time in 50 years. And a men's choir from Ukraine came to California, where I was living. They were from a great big Baptist church in Kyiv, and they were coming to share their faith with the people in America. Their arrangements fell through. Nobody met them at the airport. Here they were stuck. 27 Ukrainian men. It was a men's choir. And somehow the word got through to our church at La Sierra and our choir director. There's a men's choir stranded at LAX. So we got into action. Got the university bus down to LAX, put these guys on the bus and brought them home to our church for the weekend. Now, it was Thanksgiving, end of November. And the great anthem of Thanksgiving is this song. Every choir in America gets a nice arrangement. We had a lovely arrangement. We had about 60 people in our choir, but we joined up with the Ukrainians and we had nearly 100. They couldn't read English, couldn't speak English. They got the idea in the practice about what vowels to use for what note, so they didn't sound kind of out of place. But they didn't know, they knew the tune, but didn't know the words, sang vowels. I've never heard a choir sing like that in my whole life. These people newly liberated, newly free, many of them newly Christians. Some of them had been recruited from the Red Army Chorus and the Moscow State Opera. They lost their jobs when the empire collapsed. They were on the streets, and the brave Kyiv choir director, who knew the classical music world really well, went up and found them and said, I know you're not Christians. I know you're in trouble. Come to Kyiv, we will look after you and feed you, and we will sing some lovely Rachmaninoff church music. And they came, and by the time they got to us, half of them were baptized, and I suspect the next lot weren't too long after. Great story. So I'll tell you what, we are going to sing Pardon for Sin. It's the last verse, And I want you to think about courageous Ukrainian people, new Christians, singing this fantastic anthem on American Thanksgiving. Pardon for Sin. Let's see if we can get there. There we go. Pardon for sin and amnesia by your dear presence to cheer and to strengthen with tenderness Good, the choir's getting a really good size now, and we had a favourite from over here. One more check over here. Anyone got a favourite? The people on the edge have been sort of quiet and fairly happy not to talk. Okay, back to the middle, front. How great thou art. Okay, I don't know what number it is, but our man can find it very quickly. And I think we're going to sing it in B flat. Let's go. Oh Lord, my Okay, we've time for just one more, but before we get there, I've got a memory from Townsville City Church. Show us the first picture, Jamie. This is a group of kids at a kids' worship workshop that the Institute of Worship, which I was leading, ran here in about 2013. We taught the children to play, to sing, to lead worship. We taught them a little bit even about the theology of worship and why we worship Jesus. Do you recognise the guy in the back row? That's Pastor Dave, who's now pastor in Alice Springs. He was chaplain at the Cairns School. This was one of our really happy memories from the Institute of Worship, but there was someone else there. Let's have a look at the next photo. We were teaching kids to play guitar so that they could be involved in a worship band. There was a young Bible worker in the conference who was a very good guitarist, and he helped us teach the kids. Anyone know his name? Simon Gigliotti, there he is. And you can see his face there. We were so proud of him, and before long he was at Avondale, and the rest is history. I think there's one more pic. Just a reminder that Pastor Dave's a pretty good singer, and you can congratulate him if you see him around the grounds today. A great memory from Townsville City Church and back in 2013. Okay, we've got time for one more song, so let's see. It's going to be someone in the middle. They're the people with the big voices. Well, no, they've gone quiet too. 109. Is that Amazing Grace? No, it's the one after Amazing Grace. But it's still on the theme of grace. We're going to invite you to stand and we'll sing the first and the last verses of this lovely song, Marvellous Grace. Let's sing. Marvelous. And the last.